Hello everyone. Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome. I see lots of you here in the comments already, so I'm glad you've had this on your calendar, you've been planning on this, and you are ready for summer school, right? The best kind of summer school. I've seen some comments as you've all been hopping on. I see Peggy said she's a longtime customer but first-time summer schooler, and guess what? We're all first-time summer schoolers this year because this is the first time we've done a summer school event. Some of you I know have probably taken other events with us, some of our Stamp Joy virtual events and other classes we may have offered around that, but this is the first time we're doing something in the summer, and so I'm really excited about this. Susan and I are going to be your teachers for this class, all about foiling, and we are getting down to kind of the last month before the class. What is the date today? It's the 12th. Yeah, and the class is on the 14th of June. So yes, we are almost right on the 1 month mark. So we are getting down into the little details of kind of giving you the information you need to be prepared for the class, which includes the supply list that we sent out to you, both in our Facebook group and through email this weekend. And so that's what today's live is all about. We are going to talk through that supply list, hopefully answer any questions you have. And as I go, maybe please hold your questions until the end, or if I stop and ask if there are any questions about a certain part, because I will answer a lot of the questions that you likely have as we go through the supply list together. And then I'll leave some time at the end if there's anything I haven't answered that you're curious about. And I think that's how things are going to go today. Pretty short and sweet as we walk through this supply list. So as you know, as a summer school sign up or person who has signed up for summer school, you are going to get our supply order discount period, which starts this week. And you got all that information in your newsletter as well. The idea behind this is that you use this discount to purchase any supplies that you might want or need for the class. So we have given you that supply list to kind of lay out exactly what you will need if you want to create the cards exactly as we will be creating them. There's always creative expression welcome. So if you want to use some different ink colors, some different stamps or dies or substitutions that you have from your collection, you can certainly do that. But I'm going to talk through kind of what I think is maybe the most important or what certain things are going to be used for so you can weigh out your purchases as well. And that discount is site-wide, so you can pick up anything else. It doesn't have to be related to the summer school course, so you can pick up whatever you would like from the store. But I did want to mention that you will also get a discount during the early access period. So when the class is taking place in June, you'll get another discount. So that discount is meant to, after you've been inspired by the class and the projects, to kind of give you that discount to order things that have inspired you that you want to then try more of or be able to have in your own collection. So hopefully all that makes sense for our people that are newer to TE events. That's how things are going to go. I'm going to say good morning to a few people here. Hi, Sharon. Lisa's here. Denise. Hello, Mindy. Is my jacket dragon fruit? It's either dragon fruit or lollipop. I haven't pulled out the cardstock to check for sure. Deb is here today. Hello, Farley. We've got Mia is here from California, Karen, Susan, lots of Susans, and Susan, our Susan, is here in the background to help answer your questions today, along with Whitney as well. You guys want to say hi?
Hi! Good morning.
All right, well, let's get to it. I am going to share with you guys your first full look at the projects that we're going to be making in the class. I know, Whitney's so excited. Susan and I had a lot of fun designing these projects, kind of pulling together a unique color story for you. That's really where we start when we start designing the classes. I guess that's not the first step. The first step is to think about what techniques we want to share with you. And there are so many different things you can do with foiling. And so we tried to pull a little bit of everything into this class. And we'll talk more about the techniques as we teach the class. I don't want to give it all away today, but check out some of these fun projects, and you can maybe be picking out some of the items that are new that will be included in your event kit. So super fun. I love just turning these to the light just right to make them shimmer. So fun. All right, coming up with this one, a little bit different styles on each of these. We have some kind of bold and modern and some more elegant like this one. So lots and lots of things. Look at this one, how shiny, kind of holographic, shattered that looks.
That's going to be fun.
Oh, that one's going to be super fun.
Yeah.
All right, so there you have your first peek at the class cards in their entirety. You will be getting, as I mentioned, an event kit. That event kit will include all of the pieces that you need to make these cards. So if you're seeing, let's say, little flowers and little embellishments, we have included those in your prepped kit, so you don't have to provide those or worry about those yourself. Same goes for all of the cardstock pieces. So on this one, you need the green cardstock and the two teals and the white and something for the sentiment. All of the cardstock has been pre-cut and separated for you into the packets. I know about a quarter of the people that are joining us for summer school have never done a Tailored Expressions event. So if this feels like a repeat to some of you that have been here for many of our events, I just want to make sure those of you that are new understand how our classes work and what's going to be included. You will also be receiving the foils that you need. So we have pre-cut the foils in order to make these projects. So this one actually includes 2 different foils. You will receive all of the product that you will be foiling onto. So whether we're foiling onto a panel or we're doing something with a paste, you will be receiving that in your event kit. And Susan has said in the comments she loves that there's no homework for summer school. And that is the truth. With all of our events, we do almost 95% of the prep for you. Your biggest prep is going to be taking this supply list that we have given you and making sure you have all of these supplies pulled out and at your fingertips when it's time to create. And we are going to walk you through creating these 4 cards.
The only homework is gathering.
Yes, your only homework is gathering your things. Okay, so let's take a look then through this summer school supply list. This was provided for you as an image that you can access through the newsletter or through our Facebook page, or you can print it off if you want a copy like this that you can physically check off as you pull these items from your craft room. You can do that as well. So the first thing up here at the top, we have our tweed 6x6 background stamp. This is the background stamp and what it looks like. It was released, I can't even, time for me flies by so fast. I mean, I could say a month ago and it could have been a week ago, or it was like a month ago. Okay. So I'm not super time blind yet. So this was part of our kind of tools and basics release that we did, and it has a really fine tweed pattern to it. We actually picked one background stamp and we're using this on all 4 of the cards. So I think you'll get a lot of use out of this for the class if you decide to pick it up. You can see we've used it tone on tone in the background for all of our projects to just give it that little bit of extra dimension. But if there's something else you want to substitute, you're welcome to do that. But this is what we'll be using in the class.
And it's a great basic to have.
It is. Just I use it all the time. It has been one of my favorite new background stamps that we've done. Okay, next up we have several dies on our list, and there are substitutions for these. So if you're not a die cutter, or you want to try to get by using something that you have, I will give you some substitutions for these as well. So the diagonal stitch rectangle stacklets, I don't go very long without making a card with these.
Put them away?
I know, we should just store them in the front all the time because I do pull these out quite often. They add just a little bit of extra texture. You can see around the outside of this foiled panel, those little etch markings, the diagonal stitches around the outside, that's what this does. So your option, if you don't have this, will be to just leave that off and your panel will be plain. I do love how it does coordinate with that tweed as well. Kind of those diagonal stitch marks is the same as what is found in the background. So next up, we have the mini strips die. You noticed on all of the projects, the sentiments are cut in strips like this, and we'll be doing that with the mini strips. You'll be getting something to create those sentiments. I don't want to give it all away, so don't worry about the actual words themselves. But if you want to be able to cut all of those words out at the same time, then you will need our mini strips die. Your substitution for this would be you would just simply use the words and then trim them apart with your paper trimmer. So there is an option for that if you don't do die cutting, or if you don't want to grab this die, but this is what we will be using in class to cut all of those apart. And the best thing about this die is it coordinates with every mini strips in our collection, which there've got to be at least 20.
Yeah,
so
if they're on the fence, just on our website, look up mini strip.
Yes.
Because they'll see all the plethora of them.
There are a lot of them. We love our mini strips, and especially with projects like this where you don't want to cover up your beautiful foil details. So these stripped sentiments are going to be the perfect way to let the foil shimmer and shine with just a little strip of sentiment in there. So that is the next die. And then last on our list of dies, we have the A2 layer stacklets. This is another one that we rarely put away here. We use this almost on every single card. For this particular one, or this particular class, we're going to use it a couple of times to cut down certain pieces after you have foiled them. And so it just helps specifically with this project that we're going to be creating. It's going to help you center up your design, and this one here. So actually, I think we were going to use it on all three of these. You can see through the die, obviously, so you can center up your focal image really nicely and trim that out with the die. Now your substitution, if you don't have this, would be to just use your paper trimmer to cut those down. All right. Next up, we have the ink colors. So I didn't actually pull the ink colors today, but you can read through that list. There are 6 of them. We will have a bundle available as well. Now would be a good time to talk about all of the items on this supply list will be in a special shopping category for you starting tomorrow when your discount shopping period begins. If you're wondering when that is, you can find that at the bottom of your supply list. It starts tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time, and it goes through Thursday, all the way to the end of the day, 11:59 p.m., and that's Central Time as well. So that is when your discount period is to use that 10% off, and we will have a special category for these supplies, but again, you can use that discount site-wide on anything. So, you will be able to find all of these inks in there, and we will have bundles. So if you don't have any of our ink and you just want to pick up all 6 colors so you know that you have what you need for the class, they will be available in full size or mini ink cubes, those bundles. And let me just, I guess, people always ask, is it okay to use mini, or would you rather have full size? And I think a lot of that is a personal decision. So I know many of you collect our inks. It is going to take you a little bit longer across this large background stamp to ink with a mini ink cube, but I think mini ink cubes will work just fine, especially if you're just starting out trying Tailored Expressions ink. It's a great way to get in, try a good amount of colors without quite as much investment. So either way, your choice, mini or full size. If you have the full size already, I would choose that. I prefer to stamp with my full size ink cubes almost probably 90% of the time, unless I'm traveling and want to take something smaller with me. Or, I mean, there are some techniques that mini ink cubes work better for too. So,
no, okay. But if they're just trying, they can do that. I guarantee they'll come back and get the large later.
Yes, you can always come back and get the large later.
And use your minis for travel.
All right. Whitney, have we had any major questions so far that I might have missed?
Nope.
Okay. Let's see. Betty asked, I'm new to TE and missed the registration deadline for this class. When is your next virtual class? Good question, Betty. The next virtual class we have will be for our Stamp Joy Staycation. So that's happening this fall. Registration will actually begin in the middle of June, like right at the same time that we're taking this class. So,
Welcome, Betty.
Welcome. We would love to have you for our next virtual class. Okay, next up, we're talking about adhesives. These are things that crafters generally have in their room. Some of the specific things we're asking you to have: teal tape. This is what we use often to hold stencils down. It is a higher tack tape, not designed for die cutting, but more designed for holding paper or stencils down to your surface. Susan, do you think you could grab the pixie spray for me so I can show that bottle?
Absolutely.
The other items we have here are foam tape, tape runner, and liquid adhesive. Those are kind of general things. Our foam tape, we use a lot of the foam tape squares, or we have our 1x3 foam strips. Both of these, if you prefer thin versus the regular, you can grab the thin. It doesn't matter really on the thickness of the foam tape that you have. Then the last thing on the adhesives list is pixie spray. We've got this. It is a light tack repositionable adhesive. It says it's for stencils, but it's been several years ago that Susan and I discovered a fun use for pixie spray. It was a happy accident. We weren't trying to have the foil stick, but it did. So at the time it was a little frustrating, and now we actually use this as an intentional technique. Pixie spray is going to be how you get this light dusting of foil on these die cut pieces here at the top of this card. So if you don't have pixie spray, people have asked if other adhesive sprays will work. Permanent adhesives typically don't work. They tend to stay a little too sticky. This is really all I have found that works great to do this particular technique. So if you don't have pixie spray, you can just skip that part of what we will be teaching you, and you can grab it later as well if it's something you want to try too. Okay, next up, tools and miscellaneous, blender brushes. We're going to be doing a little bit of blending, not a lot, just this one card. Oh, no, 2 cards. Both of these have blending on them, but when you look at getting your blender brushes out, take a look at the ink colors that we'll be using, and then grab blender brushes to kind of match those. And you won't need a full set of blender brushes for the actual class. Then I have down a regular size MISTI or other stamp alignment tool. You're going to get the best results when you use a MISTI to stamp your large backgrounds, and so this is what we'll be using. The reason why I put a regular size on there is because if you're using the tweed background stamp, 6x6 backgrounds do not fit in a mini MISTI, so you'll want to have the large one. Alicia's asking, since the adhesive is temporary, does the foil stay on there? Yes, it does. The foil does not flake off once you apply that light tack adhesive. It doesn't go away. Next up, we have a die cut machine. If you'll be using any of the dies that we recommended, you'll need a die cut machine. We have a heat tool on there that can be used for kind of drying your pieces if we need to. Some of these are going to be using a wet medium, and if we need to dry those, you may need to have a heat tool accessible if they're not drying quite fast enough for us to move on. Then we have a scissors, a paper trimmer, we have a die pick, and a pick and place tool. If you're looking for a good one that is a die pick and a pick and place in one, we have our Tailored Expressions super cute teal double-ended tool. So one end is the die pick. It has our little teal jewels in the center, little crystals. It says Share Joy written on it as well. And then the other end is a wax tip for picking up those embellishments and placing them down onto your adhesive.
Madge had a perfect question about the foil.
Oh, yes. Madge asked if we want to get some extra foil to practice with, what do you suggest? I'm going to hold your question, Madge. I will get to that at the end because that is a great question. And we'll talk about that with a few of the other supplies that are going to be coming in your event kit. Okay, let's see. Is that a backer die used for the mini strips on the one sample? I can tell we have some longtime customers here as well because you guys already know our catalog. We did already give you this pre-cut piece in your kit, the backer piece. However, there is a die to cut out backers for all of these mini strips. So that's another great thought. If you're looking to get even more versatility out of your mini strips, we have a backer die that cuts that little bit of extra to kind of set your sentiment apart. But we did provide that cut piece for you, so you don't need to have the die for the class. Diana asked which size of blending brushes will be needed. I would suggest the larger size. I know our smaller size has been unavailable. We do have those coming in. They're coming from overseas, so hopefully we'll see those back soon. But I would suggest the large size blending brush for what we're doing in the class. All right, a couple more things here. We have Nuvo Media Spatula. Susan, can you bring me the Nuvo spatula? Yeah. And then I wonder is there a palette knife over there as well? Just like a metal one that we have left?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Maybe.
That we have left.
We have a couple different types of tools for getting the medium out of the jar. And one of them is the Nuvo Media Spatula, or if you just have a palette knife in your collection, a lot of times those have a metal edge or end on them.
Sorry,
Thank you.
So many options.
So this is what we sell at the Tailored Expressions store. It's a flexible silicone tip, and then you can get the medium out of the jar really easily. Then also, if you may have these in your collection, something like this would work too, to get the medium out of the jar and help to spread it onto your project. Let's see. Will the mini strips flags work in place of the regular mini strips? Yep, they certainly will. So if you have the flagged edge instead, they will work as well. This is the one we'll be using in the class with just the straight edge. Also, if you're looking for something new to get your goop out of the jar, we have our new little mini spatula. So we just released this in our Tools and Basics a few weeks back, and I think it's fun. It has a little silicone spoon end and a tiny little spatula that you can kind of scoop the sides of the jar as well.
And it's teal.
Okay, couple more things. This one maybe goes without saying, but don't forget your Mink. You will need that Mink machine or a different toner foiling machine. We recommend the Mink. It heats up quickly, provides really great consistent heat throughout and good pressure as well. Some of the other machines that are out there, I know if you have had great success with a laminator, then you can feel free to use that. I haven't personally had great success, and it may be through the years that they kind of changed how the laminators were made as opposed to the Mink that I feel like is specifically designed for crafting. I know we had some questions also about the Gina K Fuse machine. That's very similar to the Mink, so if that's the one that you have, that is great as well. Then the very last thing on the list, we have an Olo marker. This is recommended B 4.7. And Olo markers are alcohol-based markers, which makes them able to do some fun techniques. And on this particular card, do you see those fun little flicks inside each of the foiled leaves? Well, the cool thing about alcohol markers is you can actually draw on top of your foil. And so we'll be using this one blue marker in order to add those details to the leaves. And I know not all of you are Olo users, so I also have a Copic match for those of you and who might want that. Also, we did bulk up our inventory of B 4.7 for the occasion of summer school. So we do have quite a few of those on hand, but just in case we run out of the B4.7, or maybe you don't have B4.7, but you have one of these other two, they will work great as well. So this is the one that's on the supply list. Then B0.7 and 0.6 will also work. And then if you're looking for a good Copic match, B29 is the one that I came up with for that. I did have a little bit more trouble finding additional Copic matches. I found that actually the Olo markers performed better for me over the top of the foil. So yeah. Let's see. Rachel asked about equivalent color in Copics. There it is for you, B29. Let's see. I don't see any other questions for right now. And I've made it through the supply list. So let me talk about some of the other things. There have been some questions about your event kit. So I went over at the beginning that you would be getting all of the prepared pieces in order to make these 4 projects, which includes the little gems and the die cut flowers and the leaves and the sentiments. You'll be receiving that. So anything you see used on these cards that is not mentioned on the supply list, you will be getting in your event kit. Plus, we have built in there some extra things that are new, never before seen. So all of these cards actually feature things that you won't find on our website. So we have some fun new foil panels. We've got a fun stencil. This is a new concept that we're going to be introducing of a foilet and stencil combo. We have not done that before. So I just want you guys to not worry too much about, do I have everything that I need? Because we have designed the supply list and your event kit to make sure that you do have the things that you need. A few other things that there were specific questions about. The foil magic shim that we have great success with at Tailored Expressions. This conducts the heat of your machine all the way through to your cardstock. It is a really great tool to have. You will be getting one of these in your event kit. You will also be getting one of the Tailored Expressions 6x6 carrier pieces. So you'll have everything you need here in order to send this through your Mink machine. You may also have gotten one of the carrier sheets with your Mink purchase if you purchased a new one. So it's always good to have multiples of things around. I think we have 3 or 4 of these carriers ready to go because you just want it at your fingertips when it's ready or when you're ready.
Yeah, and it's good to have a backup, like you said, because over time I feel like it just needs to be crisp again.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter. Yeah.
You may need to replace that carrier sheet specifically.
So
I don't
think.
Think.
Have it. Don't.
Yeah.
Just put it in your reserves. You know? And then someday you might want a new one again.
You put it in your backstock drawer.
Yeah, that's
yes.
I want to say pantry.
No, that's what my 11-year-old daughter, she has a bigger makeup collection than I do, and she has backstock for her products that she uses. I don't know. It's hilarious. So this is a good question. Will the smaller carrier sheets work with the larger Mink? For sure, they will. So you can use this for the class. Is the scallop die included in the kit? You will get the die cut piece for that scallop. So any die cut pieces you see here, you will not get the dies, but you will get the piece. And then the whole idea is if you really love this card and you want to remake it, we will give you all the information of the dies that were used to cut those pieces. And that just keeps prep at a minimum for you guys and costs lower as well, because we're prepping all of those pieces instead of putting them in the kit and charging more for the kit. So hopefully that makes sense. What else for questions have we gotten? I had a couple other things I was going to talk about in the event kit. So we are going to do some foiling with a product that we call Glitter Grab. And you might notice if you are into foiling, that is how we got this here. And I just want to put everyone's mind at ease that you will be getting a sample pot of our glitter grab so that you have that in order to use during the class. And then if you want a full size after that you can continue to use, of course you can purchase that with your event discount. And then I told Madge I would get back to her questions. So
good job.
regarding extra foil, so we will be introducing actually some new foils in this class. They will be available as an early release product when we're teaching the class. So you will have access to those later. You can see some of them here. This shattered holographic foil is not currently on the website. This kind of watercolor look in the background of these leaves, that's not a product we currently have. So kind of exciting. You guys are going to get to try out some brand new things. But if you're looking for good extra foils just to have on hand, I would highly recommend champagne. That is what we are using on this card, and it is one of the foils we use most often. Just a great foil for sentiments and insiders and all of those things. Another one we'll be using in the class is Cookie Monster foil. So we have tons of foils though. Susan, do you have a favorite that you would recommend to someone getting started?
You already said it.
I said champagne.
It's my favorite. I love champagne, and then I also love glitter grab. Once we do it, you're gonna fall in love. I'm on my second jar, so yeah.
And one of the foils we're not featuring in this class, but that we do use often, is rainbow foil. We really do love the look of a full rainbow here. We didn't design this class in rainbow theme, but I think it's another one that gets used a lot, especially for happy birthday type occasions.
I don't see it over here.
The rainbow is on the bottom row.
This one? Oh.
Yeah.
Right in front of my nose. I was going to say this is also a staple in mine. I don't know why. I like the little sparkle.
The little sparkle is great too. Yes. So this one is Rainbow Stars and Sparkle. And then this one is called Gold Shimmer. There's also a silver shimmer, but this is just a really fine shimmer. We also have a holographic shimmer that is a little bit jazzier. So yes, and I should mention, we'll of course talk about this during the class, but our foil is an amazing value. So you are getting in this foil roll 75 feet of foil. No, that's not right. 25 feet of foil that will foil 75 panels.
Perfect.
Yes, I knew I said something wrong, but 25 feet of foil at a 6-inch width is a lot. So while the price might look more expensive than others, if you break it down by how much you're actually getting, it is a really great deal. Okay, we had one more question. Is there a post-event discount to order additional items? Yes, you will get that. You can order early release items with that discount or anything site-wide as well. Karen's asking if early release products will be available tomorrow or not until the class. Those will not be available until we teach the class in June so that we can introduce them and kind of tell you why we are bringing them into our collection. Let's see. Is there a rose gold foil available?
I almost said rose gold.
I thought we had rose gold.
We do. But when you asked me if you would have said what's one of your second or third favorites, I was going to say rose gold. I just think it goes really pretty with some of our
So it looks like we already have that, ECs. We have a rose gold foil here. Super pretty. It would look great in place of that champagne that we used on this card as well. When will the kits be mailed? They are going out approximately May 20th. So, you guys should get a ship notification. Don't panic if you see other people on the page saying that their package shipped. It does take us a little while to get all of these out, so they will not all go out in the same day. And then we will have a kickoff party following that as well. Let's see. Mindy's asking what the schedule looks like that day. So we will have one 3-hour class session. We'll take a break somewhere in the middle of that, probably after creating 2 of the cards. Whitney, do you have the time on the class? I don't want to say it wrong because, oh wait, it's right here. I forgot we put it on the supply list. So right at the top, it is 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time on June 14th. Becky asked if you'll be getting the instructions. Yes, you will get beautifully formatted instructions with photos and all of the details you need to follow along. That will be sent out in your kit. And if I'm unable to order tomorrow, do you have enough stock or anticipate running out of items for the class? If I had a magic 8-ball that could tell me how much to order of something and it was actually correct, that would be like the biggest invention ever. Because it is really hard to predict. We have obviously years of experience in trying to predict how much you guys are going to order. But I can't guarantee everything will be available. I would say I don't anticipate running out of things for the class. So
we really don't want to.
We really don't want to, but we also don't have warehouse space to produce, enough for everyone to buy one should everyone want one, because usually I think we have 1,365 summer school attendees. Friends! So lots of you joining, and but not everyone wants everything, or maybe you already have certain things. So we use our prediction methods to determine that. Let's see. What sweet treat do we recommend for summer school?
That's a fun question.
You know what? We should make those bars like we had in our summer magazine last year that went out, our mini mag. If anybody has the mini mag from last year, maybe share in the group our 2 recipes from there, which were the rainbow Rice Krispie bars and s'mores bars.
Yum!
Both of those sound amazing. Okay, I am going to come back to you guys now so you can stop staring at my hands and make sure that I answer any more questions before we go away for today. So let's see. What are the things that will be bundled tomorrow? Jan asked. That's a great question. It is just the inks. So there will be a bundle for the full-size inks and the mini inks for the class. So there are a total of 6 of them.
So well.
Yes. Yep. And that should be the only bundle. The rest of it is kind of pick and choose, mix and match based on what you already have. Let's see. Since we're here with just your biggest fans, can you give us a hint for when the new colors will be coming out? Oh, Lisa. I know, you guys always want the earliest hint possible. I am not quite ready to put a date out there for you guys. We do have some restocks coming in. I know once we say when we think it's coming, then customer service typically gets a lot of questions. But you said it was this time. But right now we're still kind of a little bit up in the air about shipments arriving and such. But we're hopeful this summer. I'll just say summer runs June to August. So somewhere in there. We are really excited about it though. So I love your excitement as well. Oh, Mindy wants cocktail recipes for summer school.
Woo!
Oh, let's see. Denine's asking where the ink bundle will be on the website. So when you shop tomorrow, when that category goes live, you do need to be logged into your account. So that is how we know you are part of summer school, and you can log into your account and then under shop, and then I believe it should be shop summer school 2025, or maybe it's just shop summer school, something along those lines. So, all right, let's see. There will be a code to shop with the discount tomorrow, and that will go out both on the Facebook group and in your email. So keep an eye on both places. That will go out at 9 a.m. Central Time. So if you don't see it by 9:15, 9:30, check the Facebook group. I know Charlie is in there putting it in right at 9 o'clock. So that would probably be the fastest way rather than waiting for your email to come through. But it will be in both places. So, all right. I think we got most of the questions. If you continue to have questions or you're watching the replay later on this evening, then feel free to leave your questions here in the comments and we'll do our best to get back to you. Specific questions, of course, you can reach out to support@tailoredexpressions.com. Now's your time to make sure you can get logged into your account and you will be ready to shop tomorrow when that discount launches. We also have a new release happening tomorrow, so that also launches at 9 a.m. If you haven't yet caught our product reveal, it went up on the Fans of Tailored Expressions group over the weekend, so you can see what's coming tomorrow, and your 10% discount applies to the new release as well. So hooray, have fun shopping that, and I will be live tomorrow at 10 o'clock creating a project using our newest products. So I hope to see you there, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your